So we're trying something else new today. And I also am joined by the ever problematic Amanda, who also likes to try new things. We are going to judge black characters from Japan and check out how much drip they have. Now, Amanda is actually, I brought her here for a couple reasons. First of all, she's always a problem, and her problematic opinions are always welcome on this channel.
If you don't like my opinions, I am Animane at Animane on YouTube. So have my employer fire me at Animane.
Oh, I hope you have nothing but night terrors tonight. Every single night that you just see that burly man again. Anyway, this
Wait, the what man? The burly man? Oh my god.
The burly man.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in the wrong direction. I'm giving you dreams. I want nightmares, damn it.
Like wet dreams every night. All right.
Okay, so it's tier list time. We're only picking from a few. If your favorite is not on this list, let me know who your favorite black character is from Japan and where you rate them. But without further ado, let's get it, let's go. Tell people, how familiar are you with anime and video games? I know you voiced a bunch of them and you're great at it, but like, how much do you like indulge in this stuff in your civilian life?
If we're going like older school stuff, then I'll know a lot more about it. But if it's newer stuff, I tend to not know as much. But I'm seeing some people in here I recognize, which is funny. Some of them are from shows that I've done voices in, but one of them is actually a show I'm really glad that you mentioned or you put on here, because it's a show that I did the ADR script for, which means I wrote the English recording script for it.
Dope. I can't wait to get to that.
You don't have Mr. Popo on here. He's the most racist one I could think of.
I should literally give all your government information to like leftist black Twitter right now. Just
why? I like Mr. Popo. He looks like one of those little jars that like racist, grandmothers in the South would like reach their hands in and be like, "Oh, back in my day, we called these Negro biscuits," or whatever.
He does indeed look like a Sambo. He looks like the front face on the Coon Chicken Inn restaurant. Absolutely. And I actually remember some friends of mine growing up, their parents wouldn't even let them watch Dragon Ball Z because they were so convinced that Mr. Popo was from a minstrel show.
Bitch, don't tell me what to do!
What do you rate my boy Balrog here from Street Fighter? He's a staple of Street Fighter, for better or for worse. What are we rating him?
Is drip like, would I bone him, or is it literally like, is he cool?
Sex appeal definitely, I think, factors into drip. It doesn't have to, but it certainly can.
Actually, the thing is, I don't think I would, because he's too swole for me. Good for him that he works out, but to me, I just feel like he probably is somebody who like works out to the point where he's like, I do 2 a days. I'm built different. Like anybody who's that buff or that cut, I feel like is usually like miserable, because they're like, I only eat broccoli and chicken and egg yolks and souls of the damned. And like his shoes remind me of like a dead Victorian like ghost child in like a school. Like if I was going ghost hunting, these feel like the shoes I would see there. So I kind of dig that aspect.
I don't know what the fuck that means.
It's just boxing boots.
I've never seen boxing boots. I mean, that might be a thing. I don't know a ton about boxing, but they look to me like the leather lace-up shoes.
Where are we rating the drip?
I'm gonna say negative drip. Although I like how negative drip is right above racist. Like I didn't think the scale was racist to goat. I thought it was like goat to like no drip.
If something is just genuinely racist, it needs its own classification. So Balrog, negative drip. And I would have to agree with you. I always hated the fact that Balrog was like the consistent black character of most of the series, and like not only black but like black American. So like, and Balrog literally debuted in Street Fighter 2 in like the early 90s. And also he fucking sucks. He's trash to play. He's ugly as sin. I only like him being in the game because I like beating him up.
You like committing hate crimes is what that sounds like.
As long as it's against Balrog, abso-motherfucking-lutely.
Know your fucking place, trash.
Speaking of Street Fighter, we were looking at another person and we noticed a little tall drink of water, and that would be Elena. I believe she debuted in Street Fighter 3. She's a Kenyan like princess, and she's like really well educated and stuff, but she obviously has like the whole like sexy tribeswoman vibe going on. She got legs for days, her feet out, which is, always a plus in my book, but that's beside the point. She kind of gives me like Storm's little sister vibes. If Storm had a little sister, she would like totally just be this. Here's her in motion.
The boob animation, like this is like 2D pixelated, but somehow they made sure to get the woomph nature of those.
Oh, yeah, they got all of it.
She's thick. She's hot. She's got it.
I've played as her a couple times. She's a fun drink of water, and I'm glad that she gets a little more. They bring her out a little bit more these days.
I mean, I think she's got a lot of drip. I don't like ranking things. I don't want to hurt any of their feelings.
It's fine. Most of them anyway are from like ridiculously successful franchises. So
Okay.
if their feelings
okay.
are hurt, they can just dry their tears with their $100 bills.
I'll put her in sick drip, and if I need to put her up higher.
Yes, we can always adjust. But sticking with the Street Fighter motif, let's move on to DJ, who is Jamaican. He was also a older Street Fighter character.
You sure he's black?
What do you mean? Am I sure he's black? What are you talking about?
I mean, do you have another picture of him? Because there he looks very much like Dolph Lundgren-esque, or very like he could be like a cast member on Vikings or something, which I don't
Amanda,
mind.
Okay, what is he now?
Oh, I mean that's night and day, literally.
It's called shading. Sometimes the lightning makes them look lighter.
Yeah, the lightning, as if this guy looks like he got struck by lightning and now he's crispy and like a totally different person than the first guy. He's got no eyebrows though. He kind of scares the shit out of me. Like maybe that's not his fault, but like,
what are you talking about? What do you mean scares?
like,
so he has no drip at all. Damn. See, I can't ride with that. I got to veto that. Granted, his design is kind of basic. Also, playing him is not very fun, which sucks because I love his personality in the game, but his moveset is kind of weak sauce. Okay, so moving right along, we got Minot. I believe that's how you pronounce her name. She's an Egyptian character, I believe, from Street Fighter V.
your whole channel's gonna unsubscribe from you because they want to unsubscribe from me, but they can't because they're not subscribed to me. But Egyptian ain't black.
No. Listen, we are going by Hotep rules, okay? We are going by Hotep rules.
We was kings.
Exactly. We was Kangs. You brought up Mr. Popo. If you can bring up a non-human and be like, why he ain't on the list, I can bring up someone who's at least from Africa.
But that's like saying Elon Musk is a black character and should be on this list. Yeah, he's from Africa.
She's from a place and has a look that could be perceived as black.
So she's Rachel Dolezalling it.
Just for that, she's going in GOAT. You know what? Fuck it. Because you're being hard-headed. You're being hard-headed, and I'm about to cancel you, okay? I'll put her in sick drip, because I actually do like her design a lot. She's a very fun character. She kind of bounces around the screen all the time. Sticking with the black, but not actually black, but is still considered black theme, we got Sean, who I believe is at least half black, half Japanese, and I think is Brazilian by way of a nationality.
Okay.
Fucking whoops.
Already there, I can relate being an in-betweener myself, where I was like born in Germany. My mom's from France. My dad's American. I'm part white, part black, white Native American. Like, so it's like I relate to this character on that level of being multicultural, international thing. So I'm gonna be biased, and I'm already gonna say he's got a lot of drip.
I'd say Sean at least needs to go to sick drip. I wouldn't necessarily put him in drip master, but he got a good amount of drip going on for him. Last on the Street Fighter train, we've got newcomer Kimberly, who is going to be debuting in Street Fighter 6 next year. She is the first actual black American character in the game since friggin' Balrog. She's also a ninja and is obsessed with 80s culture and has like turquoise tipped ponytails.
Already, I'm gonna put her in GOAT because if you see my background, I too am obsessed with 80s and 90s nostalgia, and I'm also an American ninja, and I'm down for that.
All right, you know what? I do not disagree. I love Kimberly's design. It is so much energy, so much flavor, so much fun. And I'm so glad that we have another black American character who's not a literal punching bag in the series. And she looks fun as hell to play. So yeah, Kimberly, our first GOAT.
You were saying with the Balrog character, you're saying like he was like the only example of like a American black guy in the games, and you said he was kind of like hood, or you said he was kind of just like stereotypical. So she seems like she's like joyous. I don't know. She just seems like she kind of counteracts some of that stereotypical like,
She
yo,
does.
I'm hard. I'm
Yeah.
from America. Like she's just like, I don't know, like Jubilee.
She's like super happy, high energy anime character, and Balrog is like, grr, oh, I'm hard. I eat bricks for breakfast. I'll beat anybody up. All I know
I'm
how
the
to do is punch.
Hi there. And you are? I'm a welcome wagon. It's nice to meet you, friend.
All right, next on the list is Canary. She's a character from the anime Hunter x Hunter. I think she's absolutely adorable and a problem, but what do you think about her?
She seems like a little badass. She's got that like power suit situation going on. Does she have like a British accent or something? She looks like she's somebody who's like gone to boarding school and doesn't suffer fools.
No, she speaks with a regular standard American English accent. She is a part of the help staff, I believe, a butler of the Zoldyck family. She's not a main character, but she's a pretty beast of a fighter, and for her to just be a kid, she can like whoop all the ass for like no reason at all. Also, she's a fucking troll, and I love it. Her attitude is just great.
I'd probably put her at least a drip master. Like,
I feel like if she had a stronger presence in the actual show itself, she would be GOAT. All right, so now we're going to hop back over to video games real quick, and we're going to talk about my boy Barrett. I feel like he needs no introduction.
I would say Barrett might be GOAT. To me, when I think of big dick energy, I feel like Barrett's the first memory I have of thinking somebody had that. Before I even knew what the phrase was as a kid, I'm like, yeah, this guy's got
Before
whatever
the
that
phrase
is.
even existed, you knew that he had it.
He's
as a polygon, like, look at this guy.
Is that what he looked like in Final Fantasy VII? Like, my brain remembers. I guess it's because I'm thinking
You
of
remember
like,
this. You remember probably that.
the character
Probably
art.
more.
Or the...
So Barrett has to go to GOAT simply because he's one of the oldest characters on this list, and yet he also has just been like killing it since the early Polygon days. He's like the tough black guy trope that Balrog is, but he's like way better. His design is better. He's a funner character. He's just everything. Next up on the list, we got Usopp from One Piece, who I literally just found out that he is supposed to be African like a couple years ago.
Like in the technical way, or is he supposed to be black?
I know Oda has definitely said he's supposed to be African, but like which exact ethnicity from Africa, I don't think he specified.
So maybe he's
Very true.
he's from Tunisia. Maybe he's Algerian or something. You know, like
I'm going to do something real quick.
make
Because I can see this is starting to be a thing.
we're questionably black.
Are they even black? Because they might be, but they also might not be. And we ain't here to do all the research to figure out if they actually are. So we just gonna put them in their own ass category. So Usopp goes down there, and you know what? Manat also goes down there because she's Egyptian.
Yep.
But I don't know if she's like black Egyptian or if she's like ethnically Egyptian. She could be either one.
If we want to get philosophical, I'm always like, okay, well, what is blackness? Is it a biological thing? Is it a cultural thing? Because like if we're able to say, hey, you're not black, like your skin folk ain't your kinfolk or whatever they said. Is it a race? Because some people say race is a social construct. Other people say it's biological.
Are they from a region of Africa that has Negroid ethnicity?
That's a...
Or have they descended from people who had Negroid ethnicity? The whole what is blackness thing, the more you expand that out, the trickier it gets, because then you get other societies like Australia, and they have the Aboriginal people who aren't, from what I understand, descendant from Africa, but have always been perceived as black and treated as black in Australia. It's a question that deserves a lot of conversations, but we here to drip, so we just gonna put their ass in their own little category here. We'll save further philosophical pontification for another day. So now it's time for coffee from
Cowboy
Bebop.
I remember seeing her. I don't remember the context, but being on Cowboy Bebop and looking like that, I mean, I would say like very high drip.
If it's not GOAT, it's got to be Drip Master. I'm going to put her in Drip Master because she was only in one episode, but out of all the characters that came up in that episode, I feel like she was one of the better ones done. Matter of fact, I had two other people from the episode. This guy right here with the hat, and then this
That's
guy
funny.
right here.
I don't remember those two.
Exactly. I should have made another category for who even are you? Because once you talked about coffee, do we even really need to talk about anybody else from that episode? So technically, we're going to put them in negative drip.
I like that though our list is becoming more existential once you get to the bottom. It's like, are they even black? Who even are you? What even is existence? Like, you know,
Who are any of us? What is life?
What
is blackness? Am I a nigga?
Gee, that sounds like a personal question. I can't answer that for you. Also, I'm not even sure if I'm allowed to have it. I get like weekend visitations with my N-word card. I don't get full custody of it, like as being a very like.
You've definitely abused that privilege today, so you're already at max capacity. We're gonna switch back over to the realm of fighting games for a minute. This is Raven from Tekken. Now, I ain't played a Tekken game in years, but my man is giving me like Dennis Rodman meets Blade vibes.
I was thinking like Cisco, like Thong Song vibes.
Oh no, not Cisco. You had to bring him up.
And Dennis Rodman hangs out with like North Korean dictators. That ain't chill.
That's gonna be a fucking yikes from me, dog. Okay, so Raven has some drip, but simply because of his connection, his visual connection to Dennis Rodman, he got to go down to mid.
Dennis Rodman and Cisco. I think that the combination weighed it down a lot.
Now let's be confused, because apparently there's another character in Tekken whose name is Raven, but it's Master Raven, and it's a Goyle. And she's like a cyber ninja looking with rainbow braids.
I'm kind of sold by the fact that her name is Master Raven. It feels like kind of like a Mistress Raven, like she's kind of a step on me mommy vibe.
Okay, so I didn't put her up here. You know what? We're gonna use Kimberly as her. So cartoon Kimberly is Master Raven. So where are we putting her?
Okay. I would probably say Sick Drip.
Let's go to Sam from Cannon Busters.
Earlier when I mentioned a show that I worked on that I really liked, it was Cannon Busters. I wrote the English dub script for this, so it has a special place in my heart, but I have no idea how it was received. You live terminally online, so I'm very curious to see how it... Yeah.
First of all, just so we can get this out of the way, I love Sam. She's a great character. She's like ridiculously high energy, high I want to be friends with anyone and everyone. But then she's also like a android who can like demolish entire cities and shit, because of course she is. It sucks because she's a cool character, but Cannon Busters was not received well, due in no part to the script itself, like the lines and everything. I think that was great, but I think it's what's his name, LaShawn Thomas. He has this thing. It's not just with Cannon Busters, it's with everything he does. He doesn't know how to pick a lane. Okay, when he creates stuff, he doesn't just make it the thing. He makes it a million different things. Okay, it was enough of an issue that a lot of the more prominent features of the series were like clearly hearkening to stuff like Cowboy Bebop and Trigun. So like obviously people are going to compare that, but it still could have been good. But then he also wove in like 3 different plot points, and it was like fantasy plus sci-fi plus steampunk. It also tried to do like a thing where, you know how some anime are more episodic and some are more serialized? I feel like he tried to do both and succeeded in doing neither.
Okay, those are fair arguments. I mean, it's been a couple of years since I worked on the show, so I don't even remember fully what happened. But I remember it having kind of Cowboy Bebop, Firefly kind of vibes. I remember enjoying it, enjoying the characters, but it definitely had a lot going on. I don't know. I kind of liked the idea of it, and I liked that they had Black representation but never actually said it was Black. You know, like it was never like the way a lot of woke media is now, where they have to be like, oh, by the way, these characters are Black, give us points.
For a change, the diversity aspect was one of the better parts about it. The characters were fine even. Speaking of characters, since we're already talking about Cannon Busters, what are you feeling about our boy Philly the Kid, aka crazy not Spike Spiegel?
I like the chaotic energy he had, but also I like that he wasn't just like, he had other stuff going for him. He wasn't just like, yeah, I just want the money. Like he did have a backstory and all that. So I think Philly's got a lot of drip, but maybe I'm just partial because I had to work on the show. But
I want to put her in GOAT so bad. I want to, but the show, you know what? No, fuck it. We're putting her in there.
We Executive
decision. We're not rating the show. We're rating the characters. So she goes in GOAT. Philly, I'm going to go ahead and put in Drip Master. He's just a couple hairs below her because she's super friendly while also being a killer android. Just a little bit more drip than a undead outlaw who keeps resurrecting himself. All right, next we're going to go over to Michiko Malanadro, I believe her last name is. She is from the anime called Michiko to Hachin. I haven't seen it. I know everyone swears by it. It looks great. Really I want to check it out. But I mean, we have an anime character who is literally based off the singer Aaliyah. She got, okay, what... I mean, come on, man.
Well, I mean, she's...
Jesus Christ, man. What am I supposed to do with this?
Now, I see the Aaliyah vibes, and I'll allow it.
We can't bring up this anime without talking about the other one who everyone brings up, who's Atsuko Jackson, I believe her name is.
What's the thing going around her stomach there? Because that could be cool, or it could be like my organs are falling out and I need to go to a hospital.
Right. Maybe it's martial arts raps. Maybe she got hacked in half by a ninja and she like nigga rigged some little ghetto raps to keep herself together. She not giving me the same strong vibes as Michiko, but everybody can't be Michiko.
I'll say like mid or sick drip maybe.
So we gonna go ahead. We gonna put Michiko in GOAT because of course. And yes, this is also Michiko.
I was about
just
to
found a
ask
better
because
one.
I was like, whoever that chick is, I'm gonna say negative drip just because she's stealing Alia's style, and I'm gonna say that this is Beyonce in a wig down here. And
Exactly. You know what? That's who this is. That's Beyonce trying to pass off because she's trying to steal Leah Thunder. And you know what that is? That's racist. So Beyonce
black
is
on
racist.
black hate.
Atsuko, we gonna put in sick drip. She can't go all the way up to drip master because we don't know what them stomach wraps is for. But we gonna find out at some point. This is Killer B. He's from, I believe, the Village in the Clouds, which is all we'll call them not black people. This isn't in our timeline or our anything. But clearly this is all supposed to be black people. Also, he's a ninja who raps. So if you want to sit here and tell me to my face that the darker skinned ninja who raps ain't supposed to be black, where we putting him on the drip meter? Where we putting Killer B?
I don't. You might have to guide me on this one because to me he seems corny. He seems corny as hell. But
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about him too. Like, I like some of his fight scenes. I don't remember enough about him. It's been way too long since I watched anything Naruto. His aesthetic is fine, but his energy to me is so try hard. I think I have to throw him in mid. How are we feeling about our girl Chocho?
so I love Chocho. So I know her because she's in Boruto, which is my show. I really like Chocho as a character because Japan has a lot of stereotypes about fat people, and so they definitely like implement them a lot in the show. But somehow they also have made her a cool character because she's always eating something. She's always eating chips. She's always talking about food. And everybody in the show is like, God, why do you think you're attractive? But the thing is, she's like, I don't give a fuck. I don't think I am. I know I am. And I don't know. I just feel like she's got like, I would put her in like, I would put her in Drip Master. Because I don't know if I'd put her in GOAT because I don't think I've seen her a ton in battle yet. She's got like her big hand or something that like happens. But like, I haven't really seen her come through in clutch as often. But
The biggest one I've seen her do is I remember one episode where someone came along that she wanted to impress, so she learned some type of jutsu that let her be like
thin,
conventionally thin, attractive.
Yeah.
And then I forgot where that went, but that's the most I know about. That's the biggest I've seen her be involved with the story, so I can't speak on that. But I do love her overall attitude, like you were saying. It's very much someone who like just owns what she is and is just like, fuck all y'all because y'all can suck my ass. So I'm gonna put her in Drip Master.
Yeah.
Put her in Drip Master just because she has the confidence. Even if she doesn't like fighting wise or visual design wise have the GOAT drip, she act like she does. And when you have that much confidence, you gotta at least be a Drip Master. Killer B though, the original black ninja of Naruto, I'm gonna have to put him in mid, man. It just is, I don't know what it is. Hey man, look,
The Rodman vibes.
bleach blonde black dudes, y'all got to get it together, man. Y'all not repping right. Y'all are not repping right at all. All right, this is Miyuki Ayukawa from the anime Basquash or Basquatch. I always mispronounce it. I'll just put the name on the screen. And she's from a show where it takes place in the future where they play basketball in mech suits. And she works on the mechs.
That already sounds like Master Drip or GOAT levels.
She looks pretty fucking dope. She was probably one of the first anime characters I saw that had anything even resembling locks.
Okay, yeah, no, that's cute. I feel like at this point they're all like cool, badass. Like they're kind of blending together for me. And maybe that's just me being racist and saying they all are the same.
You know what? Just to counteract the racism, I'm gonna put her in Drip Master because I have to counteract your racism.
my bigotry.
Exactly.
What did you think about the character in The Promised Neverland? That black character. What was the reception?
I have not seen that. I don't even know. I know it exists. I've never seen it.
I'd be curious what you think because she's a villain, so that's kind of interesting because like she's a pretty significant part, and she's very like she has motivation, she has like, but her hair is very like I would say ethnic to the point where you're like I can't tell if this is like celebrating it or if it is a little bit kind of like minstrel looking. Like I can't tell.
Wait a minute, are you talking about Sister Crone?
I think so, yeah.
Like a mammy almost looking like?
Yeah.
Like with the really like super like almost scary minstrel show almost style face?
Yeah, and her being like a villain on top of it, I'm like, well, that's cool that at least she's an integral part of the story and she has motivations, but I've only seen like 3 episodes, so I'm just speaking out of my ass. I don't really know a ton of where that character goes, but
no,
I was
it's
curious how
fine.
the internet received it.
The internet thinks that everything that Japan does is racist, even when it's clearly not. But it's funny you bring up Sister Crone because the way I think of her from from what little I know, is kind of the same way I think of this guy. It's Staff Officer Black from the OG Dragon Ball series. He ends up being the final boss of the Red Ribbon Army saga, because the commander of the Red Ribbon Army was gathering the Dragon Balls, and he was almost like the overly competent assistant, and he was essentially acting as like Red's right hand, if I remember correctly. But he found out that not only is Red like an incompetent leader, but he got the Dragon Balls and was just going to wish himself to be taller because he's short.
Oh, he's a
so
short
when he
king.
Yeah, a little Napoleon, literally. So when he found out that, you know, the Red Ribbon Army was going through all this trouble, all these people were getting killed, Red Ribbon Army members dying, everything, all just so this nigga can give himself a couple more inches height-wise, he said, fuck this noise. He shot that nigga in the head and said, I'm the captain now. And he literally took over the army and said, nah, we doing this the right way. And he was the one who Goku had to face off as the last villain in the Red Ribbon Army saga. I'm like, that shit is GOAT. Yes, he has the minstrel show design. It's from the 80s, and Akira Toriyama has that more simplistic manga anime style that really harkens back to like the old Disney cartoons. And we know days were racist, so it's really unfortunate that he has this design, but he is a really cool character.
Mouth. It's just everything else like kind of looks, you know, he looks similar to like Piccolo or whatever, but like, yeah, or Krillin, you know, but the mouth, yeah, definitely the lips.
Yeah, man, them lips gotta go. Even though I don't care for this design, I love him as a character so much that I still fuck with him. The troll in me wants to put him in racist simply because them lips are so racist.
But
like,
some people have big lips. Are you saying anybody with big lips is racist? They can have
big lips, but they don't gotta be drawn like a minstrel show character. All right, now first we got to go to my girl Dolores. She's from the latest King of Fighters video game. Longtime subscribers of mine will probably recognize her because I've talked about her before because I thought her design was so sick. Weirdly enough, she is one of two characters I talked about that ended up getting me some heat from the far right and the far left. Because really? I was like, oh my gosh, she looks so cool. She looks so fun to play in the game. The USA needs to take notes because right now we're sucking donkey dick. And the right was like, oh, shut the fuck up. You're becoming an SJW. And then some people were getting full-blown racist. One guy was like, black people in America haven't done anything noteworthy in over 40 years. Shut the fuck up. And then the left was saying that I'm problematic because Japan is obviously racist and shit. But
were
anyway.
These anime fans? Because I feel like anime fans would understand the nuance of these things, but whereas like people just people from the outside might look at them and go, "Oh, these are racist." But like you said, somebody who's an anime fan would go, "No, this is actually a decent representation character-wise." You know,
they're anime fans who are also 8,000% online and way too entrenched in their own political bullshit. But yeah, dumbasses aside, how do you feel about Dolores?
She seems cool, but the outfit I don't actually get.
Yeah, it's kind of just in the realm of like sitting on the top of the peak of a booby character. Like
it would be more practical if she was just in the bra and panties, because right now she got the flamenco dancer thing, so that stuff would get caught if you're like fighting somebody. Also, I like that she's got a slightly different design. She's a little bit kind of got that quirky magic, like Harry Potter kind of vibe going on. But she also looks like somebody who would judge the shit out of me on Twitter. So I don't know.
Yes. She definitely is more of a magic, mystical, spiritual-based or occult character, and she's extremely dramatic, if you couldn't tell. And I do believe she's like more of a good guy, but she also has those judging you instantly from like across the world.
Actually, this is based in systemic whateverism. She seems like that chick. That's completely just my gut feeling. I know nothing about her. She might be a good character.
See, I would want to put her in Drip Master, but honestly, I don't know if she has as much drip as Elena. I also have to compare her to the other people up here. So if Elena is sick drip, she would have to go mid. This is a more of a relative choice.
Okay.
Like, I do think she has a good amount of drip, but she's not quite with the drip of Elena. But we have reached the ooh la la creme de la negro drip. It is time for Leroy Smith. This is the other character who got me swarmed a bit on Twitter. He is both stereotypical and off the beaten path at the same time. He's like, he has like the gold and everything. He got on like the cheetah print, shoes.
Got like the little pit bull or whatever. Well, it's
like a pit bull pug but the fusion of like Eastern and Western, like the fact that he is this old master with like the super sick dreads, he got the beard, he got the gold medallion, but then he has like the kung fu master top on with the full dragon, and also has the cane and the cheetah print shoes. Like, it's too much drip. This is like Barrett's dad.
Yes, because
This
he's
is just Barrett's dad.
because he doesn't have the vibe of like the other like machismo guys who are like yo yo yo. Like he seems like somebody who would just be like he doesn't need to be loud. He could like
Exactly.
lay you out. Like he seems cool, and also it's weird. I don't think it's offensive because it's like, first of all, there's a reason we have stereotypes. There's a reason, like, yeah, we have a lot of pit bulls. We have a lot, like,
Yeah.
so that's not necessarily, that doesn't bother me, but also the fact that he has the Asian influence mixed in, to me, feels like it's intentional. Like, this character is like,
Exactly.
yeah, I'm blending the cultures that I like and that I'm interested in. Like, it's not, this is not just
Exactly.
Japan being like, oh, we're being stereotypical and this is what a black guy's like. This is what this black guy's like.
I mean, he has the blackest name of anyone on this list, Leroy Smith. And he's a freaking martial arts master who will whoop your monkey ass. I feel like we don't even need to discuss anything else. Put this man in the GOAT. He's the reason why this whole list exists and why there's a GOAT category. Look at this. This is the family of drip. It's beautiful. Just so much. Oh, God. I'm coming off the drip. So there it is. There it is, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and that Technicolor rainbow in between. The definitive black characters from Japan drip tier list. Let us know what you think. Let us know if our tastes are absolute trash. And we'll talk to y'all later. Deuces.
Peace.